Hello, everybody. Today, inshallah, we'll talk about word formation processes. Now, in this chapter, we'll learn about word building, how to build a word, and the processes that we use in such phenomenon. Now, these processes are not limited to English. We can find them almost in all languages. Some of them might be limited to English, but most of them are common in all languages. Now, how do we form words? Now, we studied compounding in the previous chapter, and here we shall discuss it briefly. So we said compounding is to join two or more words into one single word. They could be compound nouns, verbs, prepositions, etc. These are some examples of compound words. Now, it is important that you understand that compound words might be written as one word or two words hyphenated or sometimes spaced. So we can find them as one word, like in breakfast. We can find them hyphenated, like long-haired, where we use a hyphen here, or spaced, like high space school, high school. So compound words can be found in three different shapes. One word, hyphenated, or two separate words. Now, compounding, as explained previously, has at least two words. We said we have A, B, and a new meaning, which is C. So high and school, both of them make a new meaning. So we're not talking about the position of the school here. We're talking about the grades being taught in that school. Breakfast, for example. Break has a meaning. Fast has a meaning. And when we join both of them as a compound word, we will get a new meaning. Now, the meaning is related to the words we use, but it's not equal to them. Okay? Now, later, inshallah, in chapter 13, we will look at compound prepositions. Okay? So I'm going to take you now to compound prepositions. Now, prepositions, as we know, are structurally function words. They don't carry a clear or a stable lexical meaning. They have functional meaning. Now, grammatically speaking, a preposition must be followed by a noun phrase. Look at this example. George sat between the two deans. Between is the preposition, and the two deans is a noun phrase that must come after the preposition. So between the two deans, we call it as a prepositional phrase. It has a preposition. This is obligatory. And the two deans is a noun phrase, and this is also obligatory. It cannot be deleted. George jumped on it. On is the preposition. It is the complement of this preposition. George went from this to that. Now, from this is the preposition, and this is its complement. Now, the complement of the preposition is a noun phrase. Now, we have, in fact, in English, a very small group of prepositions, and this is why we may find them function in different environments. For example, in can be used with time, can be used with place. From also can be used with time, with place, space, distance, etc. Look at these examples here. He came with the girl. That's the girl with whom he came. That's the girl whom he came with. And this is the girl he came with. Now we have the same preposition used in different environments. We have stress patterns here, weak, strong, etc. You can read this for yourselves later. Now, a monosyllabic preposition is the one that has primary stress, like with. With. This is a monosyllabic preposition. Now, let's have a quick look at this exercise. Your task is to underline the preposition, show by a stress mark how you pronounce it, weak or strong. The car stopped at the station. The car stopped at the station. Here's the preposition, here's the noun phrase, its complement. Sometimes the prepositional phrase as one phrase functions as an adverbial, either of time or place, manner, anything. So it could be an enlargement. The entire phrase could be an enlargement, which means extra information. Okay, like the car stopped. We can stop here and delete at the station. But with diatransitive verbs, if we have two objects, if the verb is diatransitive, and we have two objects for that verb, now if we change the sequence of the two objects, one of them will show with a preposition, and in this case we would call it a prepositional object. Prepositional object, like if you say Ahmed gave Muhammad a gift. Now this is one situation. The other situation is Ahmed gave a gift to Muhammad or for Muhammad. Now to Muhammad or for Muhammad would be a prepositional object. Now these are topics that you would usually study in grammar and in syntax. Here in morphology, what really concerns us is the fact that we have compound prepositions. Now, what do we mean by compound prepositions? These are prepositions that have more than one word. Okay, you will find them on page 172 of the book Introductory English Grammar. Now, let's have a look at them. Now, together with, together is a preposition, and with is a preposition. Now, together with, we use a noun after them here. Contrary to, the fact. Ahead of someone or something. Due to, apart from. Now we call these two-part prepositions, or simply compound prepositions. Now, some compound prepositions come with nouns. I mean, with a noun in the middle between the two prepositions, like on account of, in spite of, in place of, in comparison with, etc. So these are examples of compound prepositions. Two-part prepositions made of two words. And again, remember, after a preposition, we should have a noun phrase. Or we can have compound prepositions with a noun in the middle, like these examples. And again, we use nouns after them. Okay? Now, excuse me. Let's look at exercise 13.8. Now, the task is to underline the compound prepositions. It's a simple task. So in number 1, we arrived ahead of time, ahead of. In number 2, it is on account of. Number 3, up at. Number 4, contrary to. Number 5, by way of. Now, number 6, on behalf of. Number 7, instead of. Number 8, in lieu of. Number 9, in spite of. And finally, in number 10, in case of. So these are compound prepositions. You shall find them on pages 172, and they are required as part of compounding in morphology. Now, the second process of word formation is derivation. Now, we studied this earlier as base plus affixation. So we derive words by affixation. We add prefixes, infixes, or suffixes to derive new forms, new words. Now, another one connected to this as a category, of course, is inflection. So we have derivation and we have inflection. Derivation is to add derivational affixes, including prefixes, infixes, or suffixes. Inflection, on the other hand, is to inflect a word, and we know we have 9 inflections, to inflect a word using an infix or a suffix. So derivation, and the third one is inflection. We will study inflection in detail in the next chapter, inshallah. So derivation basically is to form new words using derivational affixes. So we use bound morphemes plus free morphemes to derive new words. We can derive nouns from verbs, from adjectives, from adverbs, etc. So derivation is to form new words by derivational affixes. The third process is invention. Invention is to create new words that did not exist before. Now, invention is the result of new discoveries, of new inventions, new creations. We discover a new thing, we create or invent a machine or anything, etc. We give it a name. This name would be morphologically called invention, like the words Kodak, nylon, etc. These are inventions. So it is to create new words, to invent them, words that didn't exist in the past. All right. The fourth process is echoism. Echoism, from the word echo, sada, is to form new words based on the sounds. So the sound will eventually suggest the meaning of the word. Like when I say click, 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 imagine the sound of clicking. Now, from the sound, we created the word click. Another example is ring, ring, ring. From the sound, we created the word. Another example is whisper, whisper. It's like this, whisper, whisper. So from the sound of whispering, we created the word whisper. Now, here are some examples of echoism. Again, it is to form new words based on their sounds. So the meaning of the word is suggested in the sound. You can simply understand the meaning of the word from its sound. Look at this: moan, click, murmur, quack, thunder, whisper, lisp, etc. These are words that their sounds suggest their meanings. Now, let's have a quick look at this exercise and try to decide which process we have. Of course, I told you we have compounding, invention, echoism, derivation, and we added inflection. Okay, we added, in relation to derivation, we added inflection as a process. But now in this question, we only look at these four. Please pause the video and take 2 minutes to solve this exercise. Okay, number one, roughneck is a compound. So the process that took place in this word is compounding. Number two, conjugate derivation. Number three, clink. Of course, clink of glasses, like clink, 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 clink. It's a sound. This sound suggests the meaning. It is echoism. Number 4, invention. Number 5, invention. Number 6, echoism. Number 7, compounding. 8, echoism. 9, derivation, and 10, derivation. So these are the 4 word formation processes that we have covered so far. Now, please remember, in compounding, we have compounding of prepositions included. With derivation, we added invention. Again, derivation is to add prefixes, infixes, or suffixes, or maybe sometimes all of them together. We can have a word with a prefix, infix, and a suffix. Inflection, in relation to this, is to add an infix or a suffix, but without change in the part of speech. Invention is to create totally new words. Echoism is to create a word from the sound, and the sound suggests the meaning. Now, let's go to the 5th word formation process here. It's clipping, and clipping means to cut, to clip something, to cut it. And when we cut something, we have 3 possibilities. We can cut from the beginning of the word. We can cut from the end of a word, or sometimes we can cut both ends, from the beginning and from the end. The idea is that when you cut, you must leave a pronounceable part of the word. So you, for example, if you have a word made of 5 sounds, you don't cut out 4 and just leave 1 sound. This would sound very odd, very strange. So when we cut, we must make sure that we leave something that can be pronounced. Plus, cutting is not something random. It's not something arbitrary. You have to cut something that is understood. Now, again, we can cut the beginning of the word, or we can cut the end of the word, or sometimes we cut the beginning and end of the word. I will give you examples of all of the 3 cases. Okay. Now let's. You can read the examples here. It's on page 122. But I'm going to go immediately to the exercise, and I will explain the examples here. Okay. Now, frankly speaking, you need a dictionary to know the origin of each of these words. You can't just depend on your experience. Therefore, I'm going to give you the answers. I'm going to discuss these with you. And please make sure you know all of them, plus all of the examples here for the exams. Now, the first one is the word porno. Porno. Originally, this word is pornographic. Pornographic. Now, we have cut graphic, and we left porno. So when you see the word porno, it means that it is pornographic. Porno is pornographic. Now, you can check the meaning of pornographic in the dictionary. Now, the second one, disco, is a word that was originally discotheque. Discotheque. Now it is DISCOTHEQUE. 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 Now discotheque is not actually commonly used. The word disco, the cut form, is the one that is used commonly. Again, you can check the meaning of discotheque in the dictionary. Now, number 3 here, taxi. Taxi. This word originally is taxi cab. Taxi cab, C-A-B. Taxi cab. We cut the final part, the end. In pornographic, we deleted, or we cut, I should say, we cut the end of pornographic. We left porno. Discotheque, we cut the end of discotheque and we left disco. Taxi cab, we deleted, or we cut out cab and we left taxi. Okay. In number 4, it is cabriolet. We deleted, or we cut the end of this. In number 5, we have the word deli. Deli. Now, deli is a very popular word now. It is used as a name of a food company, and it's originally delicatessen. Delicatessen. Now, how do we spell it? We spell it with DELICATESSEN. Delicatessen. Again, it's a food. Now it is the name of a food company in the United States and in Britain. It was connected to meat only, but now it covers also vegetables. Again, we cut the end of this word, delicatessen. We deleted the end of it. We cut the end of it. 6 here is 6, in fact, is a good example here for something. Now, vibes originally was vibrations. We cut, let's forget the S here. Let's say vibration. It is as vibration. We cut the end of it. All right. Now, vibrations is the plural. We cut the derivational suffix, but we did not cut the inflectional suffix. Be careful. Okay. So vibrations. We deleted we cut the end of vibration. We left the plural S. Vibration, ihtizaz. Vibrations, ihtizazat. So remember, when we cut the end of a word, we don't cut the plural S. We just leave it. Like here, cab, I can say cabs. Taxi, taxis. Okay. Number 7, gin, comes from Geneva. This is in fact interesting here because Geneva is G-E-N, not G-I-N. But when we cut it, we change it into I. So gin. Okay. 8, you can check the meaning of gin in the dictionary. It has multiple meanings. Hype originally was hypodermic, hypodermic. Now, we have an E here in the cut version of the word, but the original word has hypo, O. Okay, it's Hypodermic, I think. So, hypodermic, this in the original word is an O, but when we cut the word, it becomes E. So, look back here. Clipping means cutting off the beginning or the end of the word, or both, leaving one part to stand for the entire word. So instead of saying the full word, we just take part of it. Now it is important, and it's not mentioned here, it is important to know that sometimes we make some modifications. Like in gin, it is Geneva, G-E-N-E, okay? Geneva. When we cut Geneva, we replace the E with I. In hypodermic, we replaced the O with E. Okay. In vibrations, we only cut the derivational part of it. So vibration, we left the inflectional S. Cabs can be made plural. Taxis can be made plural. I can say taxi cabs or taxis. Okay, so you need to know that cutting does not mean we should leave the spelling as it is originally. We can make some modifications. And by the way, sometimes we can cut a word in different ways. Look at this example here. Curiosity, curio. Number 10, memorandum. Memorandum is not originally an English word. It is a word borrowed from Latin to English. Okay? Memorandum, memo. We don't usually see the word memorandum, all of it, in any application or in any blog or anywhere. We only see memo, okay? Now, Fred, capitalized F, L, capitalized A, Tom, capitalized T, Joe, Phil. Look at these 5 or 6 examples here. They are capitalized, unlike those here. Those are not capitalized, but those are capitalized, indicating that they are proper nouns. So when you cut a proper noun, a name of a person, a name of a place, etc., when you cut it, you should make sure it is capitalized. Frederick. Al can be Alfred, Albert, Alvin, Al. So Alfred, Albert, Alan, Alvin can be cut into Al. Okay. Thompson, Tom, like in Tom and Jerry, you know, that cartoon, Tom and Jerry. Originally, Tom is Thompson, not Tom. Joe, Joseph, Joe. By the way, Joseph is Jose in Spanish, and I don't know if they clip it like Jo. I have no idea. It's something to maybe check after class. So in Joseph in English is cut into Joe, but in Spanish is it cut the same way? It is something to look at. Maybe after class we can check that. Phil could be Philip, Philbert. Commonly in American British English, we don't see people call each other Frederick. They say Fred, Al, Tom, Joe, Phil, etc. Now, let's add number 16 here. Liz, for example. Liz, L-I-Z, Liz. Liz would be a cut form from Elizabeth. From Elizabeth. By the way, Elizabeth can be cut into Liz, or it can be cut into Beth. Beth. So Elizabeth. Sometimes some people say Liz, sometimes people say Beth. It can be cut in different ways. But I want to add Liz here to show you that we can cut from the beginning and from the end at the same time, in the same word. So Liz is Elizabeth. Elizabeth, Elizabeth, it starts with an E. We have cut the E and we have cut the Beth. We only left Liz. Okay, these are some examples of clipping. Clipping is cutting, to cut part of the word. Now, if you notice here, we have not cut anything that is not pronounceable. Porno is pronounceable. Curial is pronounceable. Al is pronounceable. I didn't say A and stop. No. Joe is pronounceable. Gin, hypo, etc. Hype, vibe. These are pronounceable. They stand for the entire word. Okay? They stand for the entire word. Now here in these examples, if you look at them, you will find some common words that you know, like exam. Here, exam. Some people do not know that exam is a clipped word from examination. Gymnastic, gymnasium. Okay. Other prof, other famous ones are lab, laboratory, dormitory, etc. These are cut words, all right? And again, we can cut from the beginning or the end, or both, from the beginning and the end. Usually the cutting process is done by native speakers. So we, as non-native speakers, are not supposed to cut words randomly. Okay? We cut words as native speakers do. Okay? So, for example, in Frederick, we do not say Rick, and we say this is a word for Frederick. Okay? Don't be creative here. Leave creativity for the native speakers of the language. In the coming classes, we'll continue, inshallah, with more word formation processes. Let me, before we go to the next one, assign you this as homework, 10.3. Please remember, you have to use a dictionary, or maybe use the internet. Exercise 10.3 is homework. Please don't send me answers. Please don't. Just do it. Okay? And after you finish answering this, you can check always the answers at the end of the book. You have the key answer in the end of the book. And also, I want you to do exercise 10.4. Okay? So, exercises 10.3 and 10.4 would be your task to do. And inshallah, in the coming lecture, I'll begin with answering these 10.3 and 10.4 before we go into acronomy. Okay, goodbye now.